Welcome to another episode of Regional Italian Cuisine. Of course, my name is Caterina Borsato. Now, Easter, Pasqua, very important date in the world calendar, but for the Italians, of course, it's probably the second most important holiday in the year. Pasqua. Now, there is a wonderful saying in Italian that says, Natale con I tuoi, Pasqua con chi vuoi, which actually means you always spend Christmas with your family. But Easter, you can have it with anybody. And of course, this forms part of our show because we're going to be doing a couple of Easter treats, which over the long weekend, the extended weekend from the Good Friday through to Easter Monday, there's a lot of cooking, a lot of eating, and often leftovers. And we're just going to bring you some beautiful traditional recipes, which are both going to be featuring pastry, one that has primarily come from the north of Italy and one from the south of Italy. Of course, I'm here right at the Convent Bakery here in Abbotsford, and the wonderful Dominic, who is the proprietor of this amazing place, along with David, is going to show us how to make an Easter colomba. They call it colomba pasqualina, colomba di Pasqua, whatever you want to call it. The Italians know what it is, and it is fantastic, and he's going to show us his take on it. Firstly, I want to say a big thank you to beautiful Dominic for allowing us to come back here. We love this place. It's got a lot of history, just like you and me, huh? Yeah. Wasn't making history. And of course, the beautiful David Abdo.
Yes.
And you're going to be his partner in crime, I
will
believe.
be.
Yes, absolutely. Now, let's talk about this colomba because it's quite a laborious method of doing this.
It is.
Because there's lots of proving stages. Let me ask you, what is the first stage?
Well, the first stage is, there's three altogether. The first stage is just very quickly, it's very similar to a bigger. It's water, flour and yeast, and you just mix it together. So Dom will take that now.
Perfecto. Now, is this just normal baker's flour?
Yeah, it's strong baker's flour.
Strong baker's flour.
So we'll mix the yeast in.
So this is just dried yeast?
Dry yeast.
You don't need to use fresh yeast, do you?
No, we use dry yeast here.
All right.
Always make sure that we mix the dry yeast in with the flour.
See?
25 grams of water.
Is it warm water?
Well,
room temperature, it's nice and warm today.
Right. Look, ragazzi, once it's all well incorporated, what happens then?
We let it sit for 1 to 2 hours so it rises.
Right.
Which is part of the fermentation, I guess.
Yeah, and the brewing process.
Yeah.
So 1 to 2 hours, once again, we really can't pinpoint a time.
No, you never
can.
can.
It just depends, yeah?
It all boils down to the weather as well.
And the day.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right.
Piano.
So we let it sit there and then we come back. You can see that the dough is doubled in size after an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the weather. Now, what happens next?
So now for the second process, we're going to add it to the first.
So I've got flour here that's already has the yeast mixed into it.
Right.
So
it's like a repetition of the first process.
it just gets larger as you go along.
Okay, all right.
And then, Caterina, we add the sugar to the mix right before we add the butter. That's the final step. And we add sugar, of course, because it is a sweet bread. Thank you, Dom.
And now we're going to add the 2 egg yolks.
With a nice colour.
And also we're going to add 70 grams of water.
Now, once the ingredients have come all together, and then we can add the whipped butter.
The whipped butter.
Into the.
So it's important for it to be whipped?
Absolutely.
All right.
It adds air to the mixture.
Aha. You see, I have to ask you
all
the right questions, don't I? Yes.
That's why too.
Can there ever be a time that it's too dry? Like you just know how much?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's always hard to visualise a wet dough. That's why it's always better to do it by hand as opposed to a machine.
Oh, Lord, I see you. That's incorporating very well. Now, roughly how much sugar did you put in that?
About 40 grams.
All right.
Yeah.
And now I think it's ready.
Yep.
So now we're going to put it in a bowl. We'll glad wrap it, and we're going to put it away for about an hour and a half, resting time.
All right. Now, I guess this is an opportune time. While that dough is resting, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to complete this beautiful colomba.